Hello everyone. Once again, welcome to my channel. This is Dr. K. Srinivas Reddy, Assistant Professor of Botany, Government Degree College for Women, Nalgonda. In my previous video, I have explained about RNA, structure of RNA, and mRNA. In this video, I am going to explain remaining two types of RNAs. They are ribosomal RNA and transfer RNA. Ribosomal RNA and transfer RNA. Okay. Coming to the ribosomal RNA or RNA. Ribosomal RNA or rRNA. It is also known as insoluble RNA. Ribosomal RNA is also known as insoluble RNA. Okay. rRNA constitute the major part of the total quantity of cellular RNA. rRNA constitutes the major part of the total quantity of cellular RNA. It constitutes up to 80%. It constitutes up to 80% of the total quantity of cellular RNA. Ribosomal RNA constitutes major part of the total quantity of cellular RNA. It constitutes about 80%. 80% of the total quantity of cellular RNA. It is also known as insoluble RNA. And ribosomal RNA is primarily found in ribosomes. It is mainly found in ribosomes, hence it is called ribosomal RNA. Ribosomal RNA or rRNA is made up of single strand of polynucleotide chain. Okay, rRNA is made up of single strand of polynucleotide chain. Here you can see in the picture single strand of polynucleotide chain. This is the single strand of polynucleotide chain, which is folded at many places. Which is folded, the single strand of polynucleotide is folded at several places and form pseudo helices. So not true helices, pseudo helices. Here you can see this is one helix and this is another helix. Pseudo helices are formed due to the folding of single strand of polynucleotide chain in rRNA, where nitrogen bases show complementary base pairing. In pseudo helices region, nitrogen bases show complementary base pairing. Here you can say adenine pairs with uracil, guanine pairs with cytosine, and vice versa. Cytosine pairs with guanine. Here in this cell is uracil pairs with adenine, adenine pairs with uracil, guanine pairs with cytosine. In this way, nitrogen bases show complementary base pairings in the region of pseudo helices. In the region of pseudo helices. Okay. And ribosomal RNA contains GC content more than 50%. Here you can say more than 50%. Guanine and cytosine is present more when compared to adenine and uracil. In ribosomal RNA, guanine and cytosine content, that is GC content, is more when compared to adenine and uracil content. GC content is present more than 50% in ribosomal RNA. Okay, and rRNA molecules or remain stable for at least 2 generations. At least 2 generations. Ribosomal RNAs are remain stable for at least 2 generations. Okay. In prokaryotes, 70S type of ribosomes are in prokaryotes. 70S type of ribosomes are present, as you all know that. In 70S type of ribosomes, two subunits are present. One is small subunit. This is 30S type of subunit, and other subunit is the large subunit. Other one is the large subunit. In prokaryotes, 70S type of ribosomes are present, and this ribosome contain two subunits. One is small subunit and another one is large subunit. Small subunit is 30S type and large subunit is 50S type. And also in 70S type of ribosomes contain 60% of rRNA and 40% of proteins. 70S type of ribosome consists 60% of rRNAs, ribosomal RNAs, and 40% of proteins. In 30S subunit, here you can see in 30S subunit, 16S rRNA is present. 16S rRNA is present in the small subunit of 70S type of ribosomes. And also 21 different types of proteins. 21 different types of proteins are also present in the small subunit of 70S type of ribosomes. Okay, coming to the 50S type of ribosomes, 50S type of subunit, or LSU, consists of two types of RNAs. Two types of RNAs. One is 23S RNA and other one is 5S RNA. Okay, 23S RNA and 5S RNA, and it contains 31 different types of proteins, particularly L type of proteins. L proteins are present in the large subunit of 70S type of ribosomes. Coming to eukaryotes, where ribosomes are 80S type of ribosomes. 80S type of ribosomes are present in eukaryotic cells. 80S type of ribosome composed of two subunits, small subunit SSU, large subunit LSU. Here, small subunit is 40S type and large subunit is 60S type. Small subunit is 40S type, large subunit is 60S type of ribosome. And in 40S type of ribosomes, in 40S subunit or small subunit, only one type of ribosomal RNA is present, that is 18S RNA is present. Here you can see 18S type of rRNA is present. And 40 different types of proteins are also present in the 40S type of subunit. 40S subunit you can say. Coming to the 60S subunit or large subunit, in large subunit of 80S type of ribosome, three types of rRNAs are present. Three types of rRNAs. They are 28S RNA, 28S RNA, here you can see 28S RNA, and 5.8S RNA and 5S RNA. In this way, three different types of rRNAs are present in the LSU of 80S type of ribosome. And coming to here, you can say 60% of RNAs, 70S type of ribosomes composed of 60% of rRNAs and 40% of proteins. Coming to 80S type of ribosomes, 80S ribosomes composed of 40% of rRNAs and 60% of proteins. 60% of proteins. Okay, and ribosomal RNA involved in the formation of peptidyl bond or peptide bond in between amino acids during polypeptide chain synthesis. During polypeptide chain synthesis, ribosomal RNA is also known as rRNA. It is also known as insoluble RNA. in soluble RNA. rRNA constitute the major portion of the total quantity of cellular RNA. It constitutes up to 80% of the total quantity of cellular RNA. rRNA is mainly found in ribosomes, and it is made up of single strand of polynucleotide, and this single strand of polynucleotide um, folds at many places and forms pseudo helices. Polynucleotide strand folds at many places and form pseudo helices where nitrogen bases show complementary base pairing. Adenine pairs with uracil, guanine pairs with cytosine, or vice versa. So in this way, nitrogen bases show complementary base pairing in the region of pseudo helices. And GC content is more when compared to AU content in ribosomal RNA. GC content is more than 50%. More than 50% of GC content is present in the ribosomal RNA. Ribosomal RNA molecules are remain stable for at least 2 generations. Okay, 2 generations. rRNA is mainly found in the ribosomes. In prokaryotes, 70S type of ribosomes are present, whereas in eukaryotes, 80S type of ribosomes are present. In 70S type of ribosomes, small subunit is 30S type, and large subunit is 50S type. In prokaryotes, ribosomes composed of 60% of rRNAs and 40% of proteins. In small subunit, that is 30S type, 16S rRNA is present, and it is also consists of 21 different types of proteins. And in large subunit of 70S type of ribosomes, 2 types of rRNAs are present. One is 23S and second one is 5S. And the 31 different types of L proteins are present. 31 different L proteins are present in the LSU of large subunit of 70S type of ribosomes. Okay. In 80S type of ribosomes, small subunit is 40S type and the large subunit is 60S type. In 40S subunit, only one RNA is present, that is 18S rRNA, and 40 different types of proteins are present. And in large subunit, 3 types of rRNAs are present. They are 28S rRNA, 5.8S rRNA, and 5S rRNA. Okay, and in 70S ribosomes, 60% of rRNA is present and 40% of proteins are present. In 80S type of ribosomes, 40% RNA is present, rRNA is present, and 60% of proteins are present. Okay. Let us discuss about the third type of RNA, that is transfer RNA or tRNA. It is also known as, or it is also called as soluble RNA, sRNA, soluble RNA or adapter RNA. rRNA is known as insoluble RNA, whereas tRNA is called soluble RNA, and it is also known as adapter RNA as it functions as adapter in bringing the amino acids to the place of protein synthesis, that is ribosomes. It acts as adapter in carrying the amino acids to the site of protein synthesis. Hence it is called as adapter RNA. Okay, and it constitutes about 10 to 15% of the total content of cellular RNA. tRNA constitutes about 10 to 15% of the total weight of cellular RNA. rRNA constitutes the largest portion of cellular RNA. It constitutes up to 80%, whereas tRNA constitutes 10 to 15% of the total weight of rRNA. Okay, and it is the smallest form of RNA. It is the smallest RNA when compared to mRNA and rRNA. It is the smaller one, and it is composed of 75 to 95 nucleotides only. rRNA composed of 75 to 95 nucleotides only, and the molecular weight of tRNA is about 25,000 Daltons. Molecular weight of tRNA is about 25,000 Daltons, and tRNA have a large number of unusual bases. Unusual bases are present in the tRNA molecules. Unusual bases like dihydrouridine, DHU, dihydrouridine, and pseudouridine, and inosine, methylated bases, and thymine. Methylated bases and thymine. Dihydrouridine DHU, pseudouridine psi, inosine I, methylated bases, and thymine. These unusual bases are formed after transcription by modification of usual bases. By modification of usual bases adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. Due to modification in normal bases, these unusual bases are formed in tRNA molecule. Further, tRNA molecules show considerable helical structure. tRNA molecules show considerable helical structure, and more than 50% of the bases in tRNA are paired. More than 50% of the nitrogen bases are paired. More than 50% of the nitrogen bases are paired in tRNA molecule due to helical structures. Due to helical structures. Okay, and next we are going to discuss about the structure of tRNA molecule. The existence of tRNA molecule was first demonstrated by Hoagland and his co-workers in the year 1957. The presence of tRNA in the cell was first demonstrated by Hoagland and his co-workers in the year 1957. And the nitrogen base sequence of alanine tRNA, the nitrogen base sequence of alanine tRNA of yeast was first demonstrated by Hawley and his co-workers in the year 1964. Nitrogen base sequence was first demonstrated by Hawley and his co-workers in the year 1964. For his credit, Hawley got a Nobel Prize in the year 1965. Hawley proposed a cloverleaf model for tRNA molecule. Hawley proposed a cloverleaf model for a tRNA molecule. This is the cloverleaf model of tRNA molecule. This was proposed by Hawley. According to this model, the single-stranded polynucleotide chain of tRNA molecule folded back on itself. The polynucleotide strand or chain of tRNA molecule folded back on itself. As a result, 3' end, this is the 3' end, and 5' end come together. 3' and 5' end come together due to back folding of polynucleotide chain of tRNA molecule. Due to back folding, three major arms are also formed. Three major arms. Here you can see this is one major arm, this is another major arm, and this is another one more. In this way, three major arms are formed due to back folding of polynucleotide chain of tRNA molecule. And here you can see each arm consists of one stem. This is the stem of arm and one loop. Each arm consists of one stem and one loop. In stem region, the nitrogen bases are paired, whereas in loop region, nitrogen bases are unpaired. Unpaired nitrogen bases are present in the loop region. Unpaired nitrogen bases are present in the loop region. Okay. According to cloverleaf model, all tRNA molecules have same terminal sequences at 3' and 5' ends. Same terminal sequences at 5' and 3' ends. And CCA nitrogen bases are present at 3' end. CCA nitrogen bases are present at 3' end. The terminal residue or the last residue, that is adenine, is the site for the attachment of amino acid. Adenine is the site for amino acid attachment, hence it is called amino acid binding site. Amino acid binding site. Amino acids are bind to the adenine of CCA of 3' end. Amino acids binds to the adenine of CCA. Okay, near to the amino acid arm or near to the 3' end, a major arm is present, that is thymine arm or T-Psi-C arm. T-Psi-C arm. Thymine arm is also known as T-Psi-C arm. It has one stem and one loop. In the T-Psi-C loop or thymine loop, 7 unpaired nitrogen bases are present. Okay, 7 unpaired nitrogen bases are present. This arm is involved in the bringing of tRNA molecule to the ribosomes. Thymine arm or T-Psi-C arm involved in the bringing of tRNA molecules to ribosomes where protein synthesis takes place. Okay, and opposite to the T-Psi-C arm, there is one more arm, that is DHU arm. DHU arm, dihydrouridine arm. This arm also contains one stem and one loop. In stem region, paired nitrogen bases are present, whereas in loop region, unpaired nitrogen bases are present. In DHU loop, 8 to 12 unpaired nitrogen bases are present. In DHU loop, 8 to 12 unpaired nitrogen bases are present. And this loop has a site for the recognition of an enzyme, that is amino acyl synthetase. DHU loop has a site for the recognition of an enzyme, that is amino acyl synthetase. Hence, this arm is also known as enzyme recognition arm. Enzyme recognition arm. And near to the DHU loop, anticodon arm is present. So this arm is the anticodon arm. This is the anticodon arm. This arm also contains one stem, consists of paired nitrogen bases and one loop. And here a set of nucleotides, a triplet codon is present here. A triplet codon is present in the loop of anticodon region. Anticodon arm, a triplet codon is present. This triplet codon is complementary to the concerned codon of mRNA. This anticodon is complementary to the concerned codon of mRNA. This triplet codon is complementary to the codon of mRNA, concerned codon of mRNA. Okay. Moreover, the triplet codon, anticodon, is different in all tRNA molecules. It is not same. It is different in all tRNA molecules. Okay. The cloverleaf model, which was proposed by Holy, represents the secondary structure of all tRNA molecules. The cloverleaf model proposed by Holy represents the secondary structure of all tRNA molecules. But all tRNA molecules acquire an L-shaped tertiary structure, which is critical for their function. Okay. All tRNA molecules acquire an L-shaped tertiary structure. L-shaped tertiary structure is the functional one. The model which was proposed by Holy is the secondary structure, which is not functional one. Whereas the L-shaped tertiary structure, all tRNA molecules acquire L-shaped tertiary structure from the secondary structure, and which is critical for their function. In this configuration, in L-shaped tertiary structure, the DHU and anticodon arms, DHU and anticodon arms. Here you can see this is the DHU arm and anticodon loop. Anticodon arm becomes straight and form one arm of the L-shaped tertiary structure. This is, here imagine, this is one arm of the L-shaped tertiary structure of tRNA molecule. In L-shaped tertiary structure, DHU arm and the anticodon arm become straight and form one arm of the L. And the T-Psi arm, here you can see this is the thymine arm or T-Psi arm, and acceptor arm, this is the acceptor arm, become straight and twist, and form other arm of the L. Other arm of the L. In this way, a L-shaped structure is formed. Here you can see. Due to straightening of arms, L-shaped tertiary structure is formed, which is functional one, right? The thymine arm and T-Psi arm twisted in such a way that the T-Psi arm and the DHU loop are come closer. Here you can see. These two arms are come closer due to twisting of thymine arm and receptor or acceptor arm. Okay. And here you can see anticodon loop becomes the tip of one arm of the L-shaped structure. Becomes the tip of one arm of the L-shaped structure, and the CCA end or amino acid binding site forms the tip of another arm of L-shaped tertiary structure. In this way, L-shaped tertiary structure is formed due to straightening of arms of tRNA molecule. DHU loop and anticodon loop become straight and form one arm of the L-shaped tertiary structure, and the thymine arm and CCA and our acceptor arm become straight and twist, form another arm of the L-shaped structure. Due to twisting, thymine arm or T-Psi arm and DHU loop lies closer or come closer, and anticodon loop becomes the tip of one arm of the L-shaped structure, and the acceptor arm or amino acid binding site becomes the tip of another arm of the L-shaped tertiary structure. Okay, in this way, tertiary L-shaped structure is formed. L-shaped tertiary structure is formed in tRNA molecule. Both cloverleaf secondary structure as well as L-shaped or tertiary configuration are stabilized by hydrogen bonds. Both secondary structure as well as tertiary structure are stabilized by hydrogen bonds. Okay, L-shaped tertiary structure is the functional one. So acquiring of L-shaped tertiary structure is very important, which is very important for their function, which is very critical for their function. Secondary structure is not functional one. Secondary structure, that is cloverleaf model, is not functional one. From the secondary structure, tertiary structure is formed due to the straightening of arms. DHU arm and anticodon arms become straight and form one arm of the L-shaped structure, and thymine arm, TCC arm, and CCA end, or you can say acceptor ends, become straight and twist, and form the other arm of the L-shape, other form of the L-shaped tertiary structure. Due to twisting of thymine arm and L-shaped arm, the TCC loop or TCC arm and the DHU arm come closer, and the anticodon loop or anticodon arm becomes the tip of one of the arm of L-shaped structure, and the receptor end becomes the tip of another arm of L-shaped structure. Okay, which is the functional. Tertiary structure is the functional one, which is very important for their function. Both cloverleaf model and L-shaped configuration are stabilized by hydrogen bonds. Okay. Functions of tRNA. tRNA helps in bringing the amino acids to the ribosomes where protein synthesis takes place. tRNA helps in bringing the amino acids to the ribosomes where protein synthesis takes place. Since there are only 20 amino acids, 20 amino acids are present in the cytoplasm of the cell, and around 32 different kinds of tRNAs are present. 20 amino acids are present and 32 different types of tRNAs are present. Some amino acids are carried by more than one type of tRNAs. 20 amino acids are present, 32 different types of tRNA present. Some of the amino acids carried by more than one type of tRNA. This way, tRNAs helps in bringing the amino acids to the ribosomes where protein synthesis takes place. In this way, tRNAs play a key role in the synthesis of proteins. tRNAs play a key role or important role in protein synthesis. Okay. So far we have completed RNA and three different types of RNAs. Before that we have completed DNA. Now let us discuss about the main differences between DNA and RNA. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. RNA, ribonucleic acid. Let us see the first difference between DNA and RNA. Okay. DNA generally present in chromosomes, or you can say nucleus. DNA generally present in chromosomes, whereas RNA generally present in the cytoplasm and ribosomes. RNA generally present in cytoplasm and ribosomes. The second difference is that DNA consists of two polynucleotide strands. DNA consists of two polynucleotide strands, whereas RNA consists of only one polynucleotide strand. DNA consists of two nucleotides strands or two polynucleotide strands, whereas RNA consists of only one polynucleotide strand. Okay, and third difference is that deoxyribose sugar is present in DNA. Deoxyribose sugar is present in DNA, whereas in RNA, ribose sugar is present. Ribose sugar is present uh, during nucleic acids. I mentioned that deoxyribose sugar and ribose sugar. Ribose sugar consists of OH group in the second carbon or on the second carbon, whereas in the same place in deoxyribose sugar only hydrogen is present, H is present. So that is the only difference in between ribose and deoxyribose sugars. And the fourth difference is that in DNA molecules, purines and pyrimidines are present in equal quantity. The ratio between purines and pyrimidines is 1:1. Purines and pyrimidines are found in 1:1 ratio. In case of RNA, there is no 1:1 ratio because there is no complementary base pairing. Whereas in DNA, adenine always pairs with thymine and vice versa. Guanine always pairs with cytosine and vice versa. As a result, purines and pyrimidines are present in equal proportion. The ratio of purines and pyrimidines is 1:1. Here there is no complementary base pairing in RNA in between purines and pyrimidines. So that's the reason why purines and pyrimidines do not show 1:1 ratio. Okay. And fifth point is that in DNA the pyrimidines are cytosine and thymine. In DNA molecule, the pyrimidines are cytosine and thymine, whereas in RNA, the pyrimidines are cytosine and uracil. In DNA, thymine is present. In place of thymine, in RNA, uracil is present. Uracil is present. Uh, Thymine and uracil are structurally similar molecules. There is only one difference. Methyl group is present on the fifth carbon of thymine, that is missing in the uracil. That is the only difference. That is the only structural difference between thymine and uracil. And the sixth difference is that DNA replicates and produces two daughter DNA molecules by a process called semi-conservatory mechanism. Semi-conservatory mechanism. RNA does not replicate. Usually, all types of RNAs are formed from the DNA molecule. mRNA, tRNA, rRNA. All these RNAs are formed from DNA molecule or one of the two strands of DNA molecule. Okay. And the seventh difference is that DNA is the genetic material. DNA acts as genetic material in general, which stores the genetic information and plays an important role in heredity. Okay, it acts as genetic material in almost all cells. RNA is not a genetic material except in some viruses, particularly mm, uh, one tumor virus, rice dwarf virus, turnip yellow mosaic virus, coronavirus. In those viruses, RNA acts as genetic material. But in all eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells also, DNA is the genetic material. RNA is non-genetic one, okay, except some viruses. And the eighth difference is that it does not directly participate in protein synthesis. DNA is not directly involved in protein synthesis, whereas RNA is directly participate in protein synthesis. All types of RNAs are directly involved in protein synthesis. If you take mRNA, carries the genetic information from DNA to ribosomes. and based on the information which is available in the form of codons on mRNA, protein polypeptide chain is synthesized. According to the codons present on mRNA, tRNA molecules bring the amino acids to the site of protein synthesis. And the ribosomal RNA, which is present inside the ribosomes, are involved in the formation of peptide bonds in between amino acids. As a result, a polypeptide chain is formed. In this way, all types of RNAs are directly involved in protein synthesis, but DNA is not directly participate in protein synthesis, but it indirectly participate in protein synthesis, as all types of RNA molecules are formed from the DNA molecules. So these are the main differences in between two nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. DNA is present in chromosomes generally. Generally, RNA present in the cytoplasm and ribosomes. DNA consists of two polynucleotide strands, whereas RNA consists of only one polynucleotide chain or strand. There are some exceptions. In some viruses, single-stranded DNA may be present, and in some viruses, double-stranded dsRNA may be present, but that is exceptional. Generally, DNA consists of two strands. Generally, RNA consists of single strand or one strand. Okay. In DNA, deoxyribose sugar is present, whereas in RNA, ribose sugar is present. In DNA, purines, the ratio in between purines and pyrimidines is 1:1. There is no 1:1 ratio of purines and pyrimidines in case of RNA. Okay. In DNA, pyrimidines are cytosine and thymine, whereas in RNA, the pyrimidines are cytosine and uracil. In place of thymine, here uracil is present. DNA generally replicates and form two daughter DNA molecules, whereas RNA molecules does not replicate. Usually, all types of RNA molecules are formed from DNA molecules, okay, by a process called transcription. DNA generally acts as genetic material. RNA is not the genetic material. DNA does not directly involve or participate in protein synthesis, whereas RNA directly participate in protein synthesis. Okay, with this I conclude nucleic acid topic. We have covered nucleic acids and then DNA and RNA in my previous video, particularly mRNA. In this video, I have covered tRNA and rRNA, and also the differences between DNA and RNA. With this, I conclude this topic nucleic acid in this video. In my next video, I am going to explain about chromosomes. Right now, I stop my presentation here. Thank you. Thank you one and all for patiently watching my video and my presentation. Right now, I say bye bye to all of you. Stay safe, stay home, stay safe. We will meet in my next video. Okay, bye bye.